Good evening. So tonight, first of all, hopefully everyone's doing well, and we're ready for another week coming up. I got a pretty busy week this week. This weekend actually is my grooming workshop, a grooming and branding workshop. So we have 5 people. I just confirmed with everyone. All 5 are coming. Hey, what's up, Nicole? So this weekend is going to be pretty crazy for me. I also have a speech that I'm doing at Toastmasters on Tuesday, how to self-publish your own book. So I have the outline to the speech, but I haven't practiced the speech yet, and I have to give the speech in 2 days. So, anyways, this is just my life, one thing after another. But anyways, I just wanted to talk about discounts and why I believe that groomers, um, we're shooting ourselves in the foot. We're not doing ourselves any favors. We're not doing the clients, the marketplace, any favors. We're actually teaching them some bad habits, um, and we're not doing ourselves any favors by giving discounts. Seth Godin actually calls it a race to the bottom. When you try to discount your prices and you try to get clients by charging less than your competition, then I mean, what do you expect, right? And then I guess they will start, lowering their prices a little bit, and then it's like you don't even want to be the winner because the winner is the person who charges the less. It's the race to the bottom. It's like, yeah, you won, but you're charging next to nothing. So instead of charging less, here's the thing. Grooming right now, the demand for grooming is at an all-time high, right? So Bob Proctor says that um, the amount of money you make, the amount of money that you earn, is in direct ratio to the demand for what you do. Like how important is it? How much do people want your product or service, right? So the demand for your product or service, is it high in demand, or at least do you have a niche, right? A niche market. Number two, your ability to do it, your ability to do the work, uh, you know, the service or the product, right? Number two, Groomers might agree completely. Yeah, I mean, we really should be charging, not should, we could be charging much more. So the number one is the demand for what it is you do. Number two, your ability to do it. And number three, how difficult it would be to replace you. So the amount of money you earn is in direct ratio, it's an exact reflection of those three things. How how much in demand it is for what you do, your ability to do it, and how difficult it would be to replace you, right? So we can all agree dog grooming, the demand is at an all-time high. So that's already taken care of. We have huge advantage. Dog grooming, most people have dogs and most people need someone to help them with the grooming. Even if they do wash their dogs at home, they still every once in a while need a professional to give them a deep cleaning. Haircuts, especially for Shih Tzu mixes. A lot of these mixed dogs that have long hairs now, terrier mixes, they need haircuts. So there's a huge demand. Hey, what's up, Lexi? Lexi is one of the people coming to the workshops. Workshop, not shops. It's singular, not plural. Sis Cassie, what's up, Sis Cassie? Cheetah Karina, Haley, what's up, Cheetah Karina? So happy to see you on. I'm so happy to be here. I've just been so busy and tired. Anyways, no excuses. But this question really triggered, or this triggered an emotional response in me. I was like, oh hell no! So I wanted to get on here and at least address this. Because another thing that kind of triggered this was I got an email from Square. I use Square app for my credit card processing because it's just convenient for me. Anyways, I got an email from them saying they have a automatic loyalty program. They're like, reward your clients, reward their loyalty, and forget the punch card. Now we can keep track of their points, and they can earn a free or discounted service. I was like, forget that, man. What? I do reward my clients for their loyalty by not raising their prices, jacking it up to what the new client price is right now. My regular clients who have been loyal, their prices are pretty much the same. I did raise the prices, but I didn't raise them ever since we did the big increase. So my loyal clients, my regular clients, their average groom price about $100, 120, right? New clients, I'm charging 275 for the first visit, and then after that, usually like 150, 175. So there's a big difference, between new client and my loyal client. So I do reward loyalty, but I don't reward it by giving discounts. You see what I'm saying? By discounting myself, my service, you're discounting the value of your brand. And you literally start to as you start to give more discounts. Oh, Monday's this day, Tuesday's this day, Wednesday's this day, and Senior Friday. When you start to give too many discounts and everything, you literally start to brand yourself as the discount groomer. People start to think about you. Oh yeah, that's the disc. Oh, don't go on Tuesdays because that's such and such day. Go on Wednesday because that's this day. Like Moe's. Like sometimes if I'm hungry for Moe's, I'll be like, oh yeah, that's right. On Monday, Monday Moe's. Anyways, you literally start to brand yourself as the discount groomer. Grooves by Nicole. I've gone from nothing to being completely booked in 6 months of opening my business with no discounts. It can't exactly. And the thing is, because Nicole, you're probably doing it right, and you're educating your clients on the importance of regular hygiene, because that's what we're doing. That's what grooming is. It's hygiene, not just once a month do a pretty haircut on your dog. We're literally doing skincare, and that the skin takes care of the coat. It grows beautiful hair as long as the skin is healthy. So our job is to keep the skin healthy and then do a nice haircut. See, how incredibly how much skill and work is involved in what we do. Why would you discount this? And the thing is, when we educate our clients and they see the difference, they literally feel the difference, and the results speak for themselves. Then you literally have a walking advertisement. When they walk out your door, they feel amazing, they look amazing for weeks, and then but anyways, if you're because Nicole's doing it right, she has her clients coming in, rescheduling, booking, probably booking ahead, and they're coming every month and a half. Then yeah, within 6 months, you're booked out now, and you can't even take any more clients. So, but the thing is, if you start out of desperation, and I know how that feels when you first start your business, you want to just take everybody and anybody, but then it's tough because I had to fire a lot of people, and you have to go through the sifting process, because some people just take you for granted and they don't really value your work. And so then you got to go through this whole argument, and the uncomfortable part of firing them because you have to raise your prices. It's much easier to start with prices that you're comfortable with than start with lower prices and have to raise them on people. That's very uncomfortable and people don't like it. So it's better to start with the prices that you really want. Don't start low just because you want the business. Start high. um, let's see here. Cheetah Karina, I have some good news. I was offered a baiting job at a kennel I used to work at 5 days a week on commission. Wow. I could not handle PetSmart anymore. I hear you. Cheetah Karina, I am very interested in the topic because I'm a total sucker for selling myself short. Exactly. We do that as artists. We do that. We're like, oh, if I charge too much, maybe I don't want it to seem like I don't care, like I don't love my work. That's ridiculous. Do we expect a brain surgeon to not charge because he's, oh, but you're saving the lives of these children. You don't care about these children. You don't love your work. Why are you charging $100,000, hundreds of thousands of dollars to do this surgery? Like, well, because it takes lots of sophisticated equipment and state of the art technology and everything go into this, and we don't want that surgeon waiting tables so he could put food on his tables, so that we want him well fed, well taken care of, so he can just concentrate on saving people's lives. Maybe a brain surgeon is not a great example because dog groomers were not doing any brain surgery, but what I'm saying is it does not diminish your passion or your love for your work by charging what you need to charge, right? And of course, because we're putting our heart and soul into it, for us, it's priceless. For me, really, the work is priceless. So it's hard to put a price on it. So the way I put a price on it is just how much do I need to earn a day? What is my minimum that I need to earn a day? Well, I'm gonna price my work so that I can do one or two dogs a day, and that'll cover my needs. You know, um, but yeah, it's just I struggle with it a lot. Even now, I have a client that I'm. She just contacted me, and it's like, oh man, I do love your dog. And she was saying that I know you have higher prices, and I told her I just wouldn't feel comfortable charging you 275, because I know you. And so I was like, how does 150 sound, And she was like, oh, I tip well, So she's like, so anyways, yeah, I do it too, but it's just at least I charged my minimum, what I needed to make for that day. And that's what you got to do. And I understand now why artists hire agents to sell their paintings, because it's very uncomfortable, and it's very difficult to price your own work. And so, yeah, they have agents value their price it. They see what's in the market and they sell it for them. And so, anyways, maybe Cheetah Karina, if you do start your own business, maybe hire an assistant, hire a front desk person or something that they're in charge of, telling people how much it is and taking payment. That really helped me. Um, let's see, Cheetah Karina, we work way too hard to be giving discounts. Exactly. That's my point. That's my point. We work way too hard. And every single time we groom a dog, we're taking a huge chance. We're taking a big risk. Let's just be honest. The dog at any point could just, even if the dog's staying still while we're brushing, the brush could get caught in the dog's eye or get caught on the dog's lip and rip something. I mean, if you allow your imagination to run wild, so much can go wrong when we groom a dog. Okay, every single groom that we do, it's almost like I don't know how to ride a motorcycle. I'm gonna learn. It's in my plan to learn how to ride a motorcycle. But people who ride motorcycles tell me that every time they get on the bike, they tell themselves like they accept the fact that this could be my last ride. I could die this time. And I know it's not the same, but it almost feels like that sometimes. Every time I groom a dog, I almost feel like this could be it. This could be the dog that ends my career, you know, where something might happen and I accidentally injure the dog, and it ruins me. This could be the groom that ruins me. I always kind of have this feeling, but then I just take a deep breath and accept the worst. Like where I think like, what is the worst that could possibly happen? Then I accept it, and I'm like, okay, let's just improve from there. Let's just make sure that doesn't happen. Let's do everything we can. You know, Here's my goal. A very wise groomer once told me, if you cater to price shoppers, all it will take to put you out of business is if someone opens down the road charging $1 less. Exactly. Exactly. And that's the thing. I see a lot of flyers come to my house sometimes. It's like different dog grooming and boarding places, and it's like, free for your first room, $15 off or 15% off your first visit and stuff like that. It's like, how do you know that you even want that client though? That first time person, you might not want that person. They might not value it. So yeah, it's for me, and the thing is, it used to bother me. It used to like, oh, they shouldn't do that. They shouldn't do. Who cares? If other groomers are sending out flyers and doing all this stuff and advertising all these discounts, who cares? Great, let them do that, right? I remember listening to Gary Vee, and he was saying that some of these football players, Fortnite was the best thing that could ever happen, because a lot of these football players in the off season, they're spending a lot of their time playing Fortnite and playing all these video games. And he's saying the ones that are committed, though, the ones that are really after it, because they love the game, they have passion for the game, right? They're not just in it for the paycheck. He's saying they hit it hard even in the off season. They're practicing. They're not playing those video games, right? So he's saying a lot of times, like he'll be talking to some of the football players, and they'll be like, "Oh man, some of my teammates and all this stuff, it's like they're just wasting their time." And he's like, Gary Vee's like, what are you mad for? It's just gonna make you look more like a stud. You keep practicing, and you'll be getting so far ahead of them. You know, so rather than look at all these other groomers that are giving discounts and sending out these flyers and doing all this gimmicky stuff, right? It's like, yeah, let them do that. That's like the best news that can happen for you, because all you got to do now is focus on your scissor skills. Making sure that the ring finger stays still and you're just moving your thumb. Making sure the muscles here you're stretching them, strengthening them. And studying the 8 breed guides, studying AKC guides. Looking at different grooming videos. And look, here's the thing. Here's why watching grooming videos and closing your mind, I mean, closing your eyes, not your mind, keep your mind open. But when you close your eyes and you imagine yourself grooming, it literally you improve just like if you were actually grooming. And they've done lots of experiments with like basketball players and stuff like that. But literally, by sitting down and closing your eyes and imagining it, visualizing yourself grooming the dog, and not just grooming them, but grooming them well. Picture yourself as a professional groomer, master artist. And how would you groom if you were that way? If you were this master groomer, how would you move? How would you groom? Picture it, visualize it, see yourself as that, and then you can literally start to become that. You know, um, the book I just listened to twice actually by Malcolm Maltz, Dr. Malcolm Maltz, Psycho-Cybernetics. He was saying that the way we see ourselves, the way we visualize ourselves, and the way we think of ourselves, it's the most important thing. He was saying that even he's a plastic surgeon. Even when he would get rid of the defects, the deformities, somebody might have a really big nose. He fixes it. Now they have a beautiful nose. They're super attractive, but they still see themselves as an unattractive person. They still feel unattractive, and so even after the surgery, they're still insecure. They're still, And he was saying that it fascinated him. It puzzled him. You know, so it's our own self-image. That's really the hardest part. That's the most important thing. And he was saying that a lot of his clients, once he helped them change their self-image and see themselves differently and accept the things that they thought that were so unattractive, they didn't even need surgery after that. you know um Nicole, Groomsman Nicole says, we forgot as groomers that there are tiers in this industry, just like in other industries. You can be a cost cutters or high-end spa as groomer and charge accordingly. Exactly. Exactly. So when I was a kid, I used to go around and mow lawns for 25 bucks up for the front and backyard, 25 bucks. It would take me so long. And even as a kid, I was kind of a perfectionist. So I would make sure I get all the corners and everything. But anyways, and my neighbors loved it, but I could only do like maybe 1, 2 yards a day. But as a kid, this was in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s. I mean, I'm like 8, 9, 10 years old, pushing around my dad's lawnmower. But having 25 bucks in your pocket at the end of the day that you earned, or even 50, if I really pushed it, I did 2 lawns. Oh my God, having 50 bucks in my pocket. Oh my God, I just felt like a king. Anyways, but yeah, I that's what I did, right? And that's fine. But you can't compare what I was doing as a kid, mowing people's lawns, even though I did a really good job, in my opinion. It's nothing like hiring professional landscapers. They would cost hundreds of dollars, and they come in and, they do this and they treat your lawn and everything. But there's a market for both. The people who I was serving, $25 for the front and back. These were elderly people on a budget, and they were very happy to have this young kid, this little kid, even though it might not have been professional landscaping, it still kept their lawn presentable for 25 bucks, and this kid did it for them. But to say that I was wrong and I shouldn't have done that, no, I was helping out this niche, this market, these people that were old, they couldn't do it themselves, or they could, but in the summertime kind of gets dangerous with the heat, so they're elderly, they're on a budget, I serve that market and I serve them well, you know. But for a professional landscaping company to talk, to hate on me, throw shade on me, get salty because I'm not taking away your business. This was never your market in the first place, you know. So yeah, I mean, there's different markets, there's different niches, you know. So of course, so this doesn't apply. Well, I would say even if you are serving like the nursing home, and the elderly, people who are on a fixed budget, I still wouldn't give a discount. I would charge them accordingly. I would adjust my prices accordingly, so I charge them much less. But I would still charge them, like a discounted price, of course, discounted compared to what I'm charging now. But I wouldn't give them a quote unquote discount because when they pay for the service, I want them to have that feeling that they paid full price, so they feel good about paying that what they did for their dog. They feel like, wow, I did something, I have value at this much, I paid full price. Even if it's only $25 I'm charging, still you paid the full price, $25. I didn't have to give you a handout, I didn't pity you. You know what I'm saying? Um, let's see here. Cheetah Karina, absolutely, especially when you throw mobile groomers into the mix. Exactly. Cheetah Karina, I love that my new bathing job is in a facility that offers dog daycare and boarding, so we have plenty of clientele. There's plenty of clientele no matter what. I don't understand this whole competitive feeling. I think it's because a lot of groomers come from other industries, other corporate jobs and stuff, and it's just in our blood. Oh, competition. There is no competition. Even in one subdivision, there's too many dogs for just one groomer. Even in just in one subdivision, there's so many neighborhoods, full of dogs. Trust me. That's why with my assistant, even with Rachel, she was like, oh, I've never done this before. She was like, I've never had this kind of job before. She's like, I don't want to make a mistake. She's like, the thing I understand is because she started off as a super fan, and that's not, she said, and so she was like a super fan, and then she wanted to start her own house call grooming business like mine because she didn't get along with the person that she was grooming for and everything, and she just wanted to do things on her own. And so then we started to communicate through email first, and then started to direct message, and then you know, um, where was I going with all this? Oh yeah, that clients are easy to replace. Okay, so anyways, she was taught. I thought by hiring her, I thought that she would get repulsed. I thought she would be like, "Oh my God, this is who he really is. This is what he's really like," and I almost wanted to do it just to burst her bubble on purpose. Like, don't be a super fan. Don't put me. I'm nothing special. I'm actually pretty repulsive as a human being, And so I wanted to show her that, right, and show her all my flaws and just all my disgusting, you know, behaviors and everything. Just I'm an asshole sometimes. I'm a jerk. And so I just wanted to show her the real me, and I thought that would scare her off, right? So, anyways, um, she was a very, she was really disappointed. I'll be honest. She was really disappointed at first. She was like, "Oh my God, I thought you were such a nice guy." And I told her, that's what I was scared of the most. I was scared of hearing, "I thought June was such a nice guy." That's why I tried so hard anyways. Um, well, here's what I told Rachel. I gave a bunch of backstory just to tell you this. I told Rachel, I have a waiting list. I have people waiting, and it's so easy for me to replace somebody on my schedule. It's so easy to find another dog to groom. But I was like, to find another Rachel, to find somebody like you, who understands what I'm doing and why it takes this much long time. And, like you just kind of get it. And she's also witty. She's fun to talk to, and she's doing a great job with and anyways, I was like, a lot of these qualities that you have, it would be very difficult for me to replace that, to find another Rachel. So I was like, even if you made a mistake and you accidentally offended one of my clients and they're all upset and they don't want to do business with me anymore because of something you said in the email, just by accident, just because maybe something got lost in translation. I was like, I would still take your side and I would still rather lose the client than fire you, because it would take me another, to train somebody again, like all that time and everything. And I was like, I would much, and plus, what was that CEO of Microsoft? This one employee made like a $300,000 mistake, cost the company $300,000, and the client, the anyways, the guy that was doing the interview with the big CEO, he was like, I guess I'll leave, because you probably have to fire him. He was like, why would I fire him? I just made a $300,000 investment in his education. Why would I fire him? And that's the kind of attitude I want to have. It's like, anyways, but yeah, new clients are so easy to find. It's so easy to find another dog to groom. It's not easy to find another talented groomer. So if you own a grooming salon, please treat your groomers with respect, with dignity, because they deserve it. We are very highly skilled laborers. We're craftsmen, we're artists, and we're very sensitive about our work and everything, and I think that if you, as a salon owner, if you're not a groomer yourself, I think that if you realized how difficult it is to replace a skilled groomer, you wouldn't be so quick to jump down a groomer's throat just because a client is unhappy. You would be much more willing to let go of the client and lose the client and even get a bad review on Yelp or whatever. Who cares? That's one, and at least keep your relationship with your groomer strong and show them I got your back. You know, create that loyalty, create that bond, and create that safety, that feeling of safety that even if I make a mistake and I do piss off a client, my boss got my back. You know, because that is kind of what creates the kind of morale that really creates the enjoyable work atmosphere, enjoyable workplace where your employees come to work feeling motivated because they feel safe. They feel like the people that they're working with, we got each other's back, you know? And you feel safe. You feel like the world is a dangerous place and there's a lot of people out to get me. But at least when I come to work, my work family got my back. You want to create that kind of environment because it's very difficult to replace a skilled groomer. Seriously. Um, let's see here. Galaxy, or this is Lexi. Question: is there a canine association that a private one-on-one groomer join to learn from to be a better groomer? Canine association. Well, there is. Learn to Groom Dogs online. It's by Melissa Verplank. She does the Paragon School. So, I mean, there's that. Um, there's a bunch of like online courses and online stuff that you can pay and join and watch. But really, Lexi, when you come this weekend, it just it's the same thing over and over. You just got to practice it. I mean, I've been to so many different people's workshops. Jonathan David, Irina Pina Pinkuzovic, um, what's her name? Christina Pulaski. I've even been to a Judy Hudson one. I've been to a lot of different people's workshops, at the different trade shows, and it's pretty much the same thing. They teach the same thing over and over. You just got to keep practicing it. Practice makes improvements. Um, let's see here, Cheetah Karina. That is an excellent point, June. There are definitely not enough groomers for the amount of people looking for one. Exactly. Um, and there's a lot of groomers out there, but a skilled groomer, they're difficult to find. And some people would say that a skilled groomer is difficult to work with, even. And we are difficult to work with because we know how skilled we are. We know how difficult it is to replace us. So yeah, um, a lot of skilled groomers, they'll walk on you. The moment they feel disrespected, they're out. Because they know they have options. Let's see. Grooms by Nicole. Cheetah Karina. Yep. I've worked as a groomer in boarding kennels for the past 6 years and enjoyed it for the most part. Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it too for the most part. Share M. What's up, Share M? Cheetah Karina. Oh, that is good to hear, Nicole. I enjoyed my time at the daycare side, but Love being able to build my own grooming business. You know, guys, it's 10,000 hours. That's all you need. 10,000 hours of practice. You know, practicing that scissor skill, keeping your and moving it straight up and down. You know, and you can use a wall to practice. Anyways, um, let's see here. Groomers by Nicole. Man, I've got a whole video I'm working on about how employed groomers are treated in this industry. It's gonna be intense. Yeah, yeah. One time I was walking a dog that was that I just finished, and the groomer, she was out there crying. I'm not gonna say her name. She was out there crying. And it's like, again. And I just asked her, like, why do you let him? This was the owner's husband. He was such a jerk. I was like, why do you let him talk to you like that? Why do you let him do that to you? And she was just like crying. She was like, that's just the way he is. I was like, that doesn't make it right. I was like, I don't care if that's the way he is. He needs to stop. You need to let him know. And she was like, my dad is good friends with him. So him and my dad are friends. And so the whole Korean traditional respect thing, she's like, can't say anything. I was like, fuck that. I was like, no way. And I told her, like, if you ever notice the way he treats the dogs, the nice dogs get tossed around. Yeah, and all this stuff. She treats them all roughly because they're nice. Like, and they just let him do whatever. I was like, but the dogs that bite, the dogs that are aggressive and growl and bite him, he respects them. He doesn't just treat them any kind of way. He slowly and respectfully puts them in the kennel. And I was like, be the dog that bites. Show him your teeth. I was like, be the dog that bites. She was like, can't. I was like, I'll fucking bite him. Shoot, let me, I was like, next time he talks to you like that, get like, show, I want to be around so I can freaking bite him for you. She's like, no. Anyways, Skyart, what's up, Skyart? My assistant, Rachel. I was just talking a bunch of shit about you, Rachel. Anyways, I'm so glad you joined in now. Anyways, share skilled groomers are groomers who care. If you care, then you become your best. Exactly. Exactly. What is that quote? People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Caring is the okay. So there's these housekeepers, Bruno and his wife Mariana. Okay, he's hot, she's hot, they're hot. Okay, they're a hot couple. Anyway, you can find them on Instagram. Bruno of IG, Bruno of Instagram. Anyways, the way I know him is we have similar clients. A few of our clients we share. So, anyways, I'll, I asked them. I was like, Bruno, why do you think you're in such high demand? Right? What do you think it is? I was like, do you guys use like state of the art equipment? Like some new kind of steamer kind of thing? And he was like, no. I mean, sometimes we just use the brooms and stuff that's at our client's house. I was like, is it the cleaning products then? You guys use like this new cutting edge science based like cleaning products? And he was like, no. It's like, again, sometimes we use the cleaning products at our client's house. I was like, well, then what do you think it is? What makes you guys such in high demand? Is it because you're so good looking? You know? And he was like, no, I don't think so. And then he was saying like, because some of the clients they don't even really meet. So he was like, because I asked him, I was like, what do you think it is? Why do you think you're in such high demand? And he thinks about it. And he was like, he's like, a lot of our clients tell me that they can see how much we care when they walk into their house and they see how we cleaned everything. They see like they tell us, I can just tell in your work, I can see how much you guys care about your work. And he was like, I was like, that's the secret sauce, Bruno. That's the secret sauce. I was like, you got it. That's the secret. People, as long as they can see how much you care and it shows in your work, that's it. That's the secret sauce. And then one of my clients, right, I told that to her, and she told me, she was like, honestly, she was like, because I know how much you care and because I see it, she was like, not just in your work, but how you come in, how you set up, and how you put, because I even put a towel down on their floor before I put my table down. If they have nice floors, just so my table, won't scratch their floors or anything. So, and put my towel down before I put my tools. Every little thing I want it to reflect how much I care about my client. And she told me, it's because I know how much you care. I just hand you my dog and I go do something else. She was like, I have peace of mind. She was like, I don't have to worry about anything because I know how much you care. That's that's the secret sauce. Um, Share M says, skilled groomers are okay. No, wish I could have some fire in me. Have the hardest time with confrontations. Aw, Skylar, I'll watch the start later. Not if I delete this. Anyways, Grooms by Nicole retracted a message. Fine, Grooms by Nicole. If that's the way how you want to live your life, just because I can't get to your comment fast enough, you just want to retract your message. Is that how you want to do it? You just want to be a retractor, a message retractor. That's how you. Okay, that's cool. Message retractor. I am being all bitter about that. Okay, so I'm gonna leave with this one last example. There's a real life example from my clients. This is when I was in Chambly and I was about to do a price increase then. So this was about 5 years ago. One of my clients, she told me that her friend has a bakery, right? And her bakery was about to go out of business because she just wasn't able to, keep her head above water. The bills and the debt. I mean, payroll, you know, the equipment that goes into having a bakery. Anyways, so every month she was going little bit deeper underwater, right? Just deeper and deeper in debt. And so finally she got to the point where it looked like if a miracle didn't happen, she was gonna be out of business within a month or two. She was done, right? So her best friend, who was my client, she told her, "Why don't you just raise your prices?" And she was like, "I already did that." So she raised her prices from like $5 to like $8, and $5 for a loaf of bread is kind of pricey, right? It was already a very high quality, organic, just very high quality bread. So $5, she went from $5 to like $8 or something like that. Or it was like $3 to $6, right? So it didn't sell, and she, was going further and further in debt. And so her friend was telling her, I don't think that you raised it high enough. Well, if you're already about to go out of business, why don't you just jack it up, you know? So then she raised her prices to about $9 a loaf. Some of them went to $12. So she started off like $3 a loaf, $4, couldn't sustain the business. She had to raise her prices. So then she raised it just a little, just enough, $5, $6 a loaf, and she was still about to go out of business. Then she raised it to $9 to $12 a loaf. And she thought for sure, but she figured there's nothing else to lose. I'm already about to lose my business. Might as well try it, right? So that's what gave her the courage to raise her prices to what they should have been in the first place when she first opened her bakery. So, anyways, now she has a thriving business and she gets special orders from all over the world. Why? Because the price that she started at was like $3, $4 a loaf of bread. It was still just that little bit more for the discount shoppers, right? So when people go to the grocery stores and they see the loaf of bread for dollar 44, $1.49, $2 and 19 cents or whatever, and then they see these specials, buy two for $4, then when they see her loaf of bread, where you get one loaf of bread for $4 or $3, it was just a little bit. So in that market, she was just a little bit too much. So people didn't buy her bread, not enough for her to sustain her business. So then when she raised it $5, $6, now she priced herself out of that market, the $2, $3 range, the $1 to $3 range. She priced herself out of that market. So now you have to find this small niche of people who want to buy nice bread, but they're probably on a budget too. But those people are probably still going to buy the maybe $3 bread or $2 bread, not the $5, $6 bread. You're just not in the right market now. There's not a big market for high quality bread at a medium price. Like, so now she was in this weird place, right? And so business didn't do any better. When she raised her price to $9 to $12, now she priced herself to this higher market who have disposable income. and they do value, they're willing and able to pay the higher price for higher quality bread, right? At this $9 range, $9 to $12. So now she has this new niche, this new market that can pay for her bread, that want her bread, right? And so now she's thriving. But the thing is, so why didn't they buy her bread before when it was cheaper? Because they kind of want to pay more. See, that's that market. They don't want to buy this discounted bread. They want to pay higher for higher quality bread because this market up here believes that the price reflects the quality, the value. So they're willing to pay more. Fiji water. Why am I willing to pay more for Fiji? Because I value my water now because I know that what's going in my body, the pH, the alkaline levels, all of this stuff. Now I'm willing to pay a little bit more for Fiji than Dasani. But that's just how I value it. So same thing with our grooming service as well. Let me see here. Here's what it's called. You have to base your price on what your business needs to be successful, not what everyone else charges. Exactly. That's one thing that I realized that kind of helped my business take off as well, because I kept looking at what everyone else is charging. I'm like, oh, but I can't charge this because they're only charging this. How can I charge this when they're only charging this? Forget all that. I realized they're not paying my bills. I am paying my bills, so I gotta charge what I need to charge in order to pay my bills, right? And I don't need everybody to agree with my prices. I just need a small market. I just need a small niche, about 30 clients. That's all I need. Right now I got 30. I just added one, so like 33, because I fired one, I added one, so I got like 33 clients. That's all I need. I'm tempted right now to maybe add one more because I see we're in a pretty good groove of things. But yeah, it's like, so like Nicole and Cheetah was saying, there's different markets. So if she was making a lower quality bread, then yes, she could have lowered her prices a little bit, and she could have probably really competed at this $1 to $3 market. Probably charge $2 a loaf. And run some specials for $1.69 every once in a while. She probably could have done well, but the ingredients she was using, her process, the amount of time it took to actually make a loaf, she just couldn't compete. She couldn't charge, so she had to charge a little more. But she couldn't charge just a little more because then this market, they're like, why pay this when I could just pay this, you know? And so then she had to charge for her business, for what she was doing, the quality of the ingredients, her process. She had to charge this high price to reflect her brand, to be a more accurate reflection of her brand. And now the people looking for that kind of quality, they can find it more easily because the price accurate is more accurate reflection of what they're going to get. I hope that makes sense. So with me, because I want to take my time, I'm not just rushing through dogs. I'm actually taking my time combing through every square inch, making sure the skin is clear, taking my time in the bath, making sure the shampoo and this conditioner has time to soak, and during that time, gently massaging their pressure points, giving them a nice thorough rinse, and then combing them out, hand drying them, doing a hand scissored haircut. This is my process. And so because it takes me longer and the results reflect the higher quality, I guess. And the way I present myself, the way I do take care of my tools and everything, all of this, I want it to reflect. I want the price to reflect my process, my brand. And so that's why I have to charge what I charge. But it's not to try to impress anyone or say anyone else has to charge what I charge, because again, I'm only doing like one. You might think, oh my goodness, he's charging that much, he's making a fortune. I'm only doing like $1 or $2 a day. Let's see, Groomers on Cole. I told a client saying someone charges $10 less than me once, that I'm sure they charge whatever they think their work is worth, and so do I. No, I told a client saying someone charges $10 less than me once, that I'm sure they charge whatever they think their work is worth, and so do I. Yeah, that was a very much more tactful way than I did. This one lady, so she comes and I'm talking about my process and everything, and then we get to the price. And I avoid this now just by starting with the price. Before I even go to the client's house, I even remind them of the price because I don't want to have that conversation after I've done the work anymore. So, anyways, she comes in, we talk about everything. I tell her about my process and everything, and then I tell her the price. I think at that time I told her $65 for a Yorkie, and she was like, $65? My groomer charges 45. And I was like, okay. And she was like, man, $65, no, I mean, my groomer does a good job. She does a good job. She does it for 45. And I was like, then why are we having this conversation? Why are you here right now? And I was like kind of upset. And she was like, what do you mean? I was like, you're telling me that your groomer does a good job and she is only charging you $45. Why are you shopping around on her? Why are you here? Why are we having this conversation? You know, obviously you don't like her work, or you don't like her price, or you're just a messed up person. I don't want your business, you know? Anyways, yeah, I was just like, it doesn't make any sense. If if your groomer charges less and you're happy with their work, why are you here? Why are we having this conversation? You know? So for me, I just feel like um, nobody's gonna value you until you start to value yourself. Seriously. Nobody's gonna give you a chance until you give yourself a chance. No one's gonna believe in you until you start believing in yourself. Seriously. If people sense um, like insecurity in you, if they sense doubt, self-doubt, they're gonna pounce on that. Are you sure you gotta charge that? How much is this again? You know, you gotta be sure of yourself. And when they ask, even if you've already gone over the price, and when it comes time to write the check, they'll ask again, how much was it again? Oh, it's only this much. It's only 120. You know. Oh, I remember it was a little bit less than that. Yeah, it used to be. It's 120 now. I mean, what? Like we just have to start getting. The thing is, for me personally, it was a struggle because I got in trouble when I was a little kid for making fortune tellers. Those fortune tellers back in the 80s and 90s. Foursquare. Anyways, I would decorate it. Make really cool little fortunes inside, and I would sell it to my friends. This was my third, fourth grade, and I think it was third grade. Anyways, I would sell it to my friends during recess for a quarter. And I mean, it was nice, right? I mean, I would make like 3, 4 bucks a day. It was awesome. And anyways, I taught my friends how to do it. So it's like the four of us doing it. And then we got caught by the teachers. I didn't even know that this was something to get caught over. I didn't know we were doing anything wrong. So anyways, they called me in, and I see my friends were already in the room, and they leave, and they kind of give me this look like, sorry, we ratted you out or something. Like it's like, what's going on? So I sit down and I just get chewed out. I get freaking chewed out and angry. This one teacher was angry because her daughter was buying those fortune tellers from me, and this is Christian school. So I guess first of all, they didn't like the fact that it was a fortune telling thing, superstitious thing, and also they didn't like the fact that I was selling it. And so I remember Miss Consueco was telling me how inappropriate it was for me to be making money off my friends, and how you should never try to make money off your friends, how disgusting that is, and you should give the money back. I couldn't. I spent I spent the money just as fast as I was making it because, I mean, that's why you make money, right, baby? I'm kidding. I still haven't outgrown that, I guess. But at that time, I was an early entrepreneur. I didn't learn about saving and reinvesting in your business at that time. I was just spending. So I didn't have the money to give back. It made me feel terrible. It made me feel like helpless. Like what do I do? I can't even. So, anyways, um, looking back on it now, I try to relive that memory and turn it into a good one. And I tell my younger self in my mind, in my imagination, like, hey, those bitches were crazy. Okay, fuck that noise. You know what I'm saying? What you did was right. Your parents don't have money to give you. You want to buy candy and stuff and toys. You figured out a way. It didn't harm anyone. It was actually highly in demand. So it was in such high demand that you taught your friends how to do it, and you didn't even take commission off your friends. You just taught them how to do this, and they started making money too. You were helping. You're a little entrepreneur. Those bitches didn't know what they were talking about. So I try to go and just try to heal myself, heal that old scar. And now, because to this day I have trouble taking payment. Isn't that crazy? After I've done a really good haircut and everything, spent hours, I still have a hard time taking payment. And I used to apologize, and one of my clients put a stop to that. He was like, June, you're the only person I know that can get away with that shit. And I was shocked. I was like, what? He just cursed. He was like, seriously, you're the only person that can get away with that shit. And I was like, get away with what shit? What do you mean? And he was like, never apologize for doing a good job. He's like, what, are you kidding me? I was like, I'm not apologizing for doing a good job. I'm apologizing because I have to take payment. I would do this for free. He was like, and then he explained to me that I was literally robbing him of the joy of paying this, a premium to get premium service for his dog. It makes him feel like he did something special for his dog, and he was able to do that. And he was like, and you just totally robbed me of that joy. And he was like, I know where you're coming from. I know your heart. He was like, and that's why I'm saying you're the only person that can get away with that shit. Anybody else would have lost my business. I was like, wow. So, anyways, um, Groups like, LOL, we're kindred spirits. I got in trouble for changing. I got in trouble for changing for tarot readings when I was for charging for tarot readings. Wow, that's awesome. Skyer, I got caught for selling stickies in primary. Haha, wow, I was earning a lot too. Wow, we got a bunch of little OGs in here. OMG, Nicole, that's a good idea. Yeah, right. Oh, I wonder how many of those students' futures actually came true. The power of suggestion, because you gave them some phony tarot reading. What if they're actually living out their life the way you told them they would, just because the power of belief, the power of suggestion. Anyways, is it time to go? No, because Mondays you were closing at 11. Okay, what time is it now? You still have time. I'm just okay, perfect. I'm about to wrap it up anyways. Thank you. No, I'm kind of famous. I'm kidding. No, but anyways, it's 10. Yeah, I actually got to get going anyways. But thank you guys for your time. Seriously, stop discounting your prices, especially even if you're not a groomer, even if you're doing something else. Value your work, value yourself. And the only way to really do it confidently is to really care about your work. Like Bruno was saying, that's the secret sauce. Really care about the work that you're doing and let it show in your work, because it does. Okay, last thing before I go. Robert Greene, he was doing an interview, right? He was telling that person he used to write before he wrote books. He used to write as a journalist, and he was writing about like phoning my ass. I know what I'm doing. Nicole, I'm sorry I called it phony. They probably are living out the life that you told them. Lexi, thank you, June. See you soon. Oh, yes, you. Thank you, Lexi. Okay, so this one last thing. So Robert Greene was telling this interview guy that he was a writer, but his writing sucked. His writing was no good because he was only doing it to get a paycheck, right? But then as soon as he just quit all of that, right? He wanted nothing to do with Hollywood anymore. And he started writing books to expose the manipulation, the manipulative behaviors, and like just the power plays and the power games that people play in Hollywood. He wanted to expose that. He was angry. And he's also a history buff. This is stuff he cared about. So he wrote the 48 Laws of Power. Because he was writing because he cared about the subject, it showed in his work. He wasn't a bad writer. He's actually a best-selling author, but he wasn't a best-selling author until he started writing about what he cared about. When he was writing about Hollywood and everything just to make a paycheck, it showed in his work. And he said that he was like, when I was writing for a paycheck, it showed in my work. But when I started writing about what I cared about, that also showed in my work. So that's the secret sauce. You got to care about your work, and then you get better and better, and then you become skilled, and then you become skilled, and then you become a master. 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 And then in your craft and you become a person who is difficult to replace, and then you can charge whatever you need to charge. And you start you don't get there if you start off by giving discounts. So don't start by giving discounts in the first place. Start off by charging what you believe you're worth. And then as you start to become more valuable, more skilled, you can charge more from there. But don't start off by giving discounts. Hopefully that helps.